There he is, the Last Stylebender. What a mensch. He actually took some time out as he's about to board his flight. Izzy, how are you?
I'm gravy, man. I'm gravy. You know how it is with these airports and reschedules. I'm not even in ATL yet. I was supposed to be there last night, but yeah, things happen. So we'll just keep moving.
What happened? Your flight got delayed? You missed your flight?
The flight got delayed. We were on the track when we landed in Chicago for about 45 minutes, and then the lift or whatever broke down, and everyone missed their connecting flight, so they put us up here for the night. And yeah, on my way to ATL now, hopefully.
Okay, so it's always stressful when you're flying and things get delayed and you have to sleep somewhere random, but you're about to fight for your first UFC
Mhm.
title. Are you stressed right now? Is this adding to your stress?
Yeah, dude, I lived in China, man. I lived and fought all around China, not in the main, like in the mainland. So that I've been through a lot in my fight career. I've had to sleep. Even one time they bumped me with my opponent, and after I knocked him out in the first round, I didn't stay in that room that night. I just stayed with someone else because I felt like I wasn't safe in that room with him that night. So I've been in some worse situations. This is nothing.
Wow, they actually roomed you with your opponent and expect you to sleep with
I
them after you guys fought?
I had no idea it was my opponent until the weigh-in, and I was like, wait, what? We're fighting? And then after the knockout, I realized, well, he turned on me, obviously, So yeah, what, I've handled worse. This is nothing new. This is just, I mean, I just get to hang out a little bit more in Chicago. But next time I'll hang around properly.
Okay, fair enough. I can't believe that I'm talking to you again about a fight that you're having this weekend after the fight you just had, it seems, with Anderson Silva, and you're fighting for the belt. Like, all this happened so fast. In a perfect world, would you have preferred to have a little more time after that Anderson fight?
No, I had enough time to chill. Like I said, I get itchy knuckles and itchy feet real quick. So yeah, and also the opportunity as well. Sometimes you can't say no to certain opportunities because it just makes sense. And like I said, I lived in China. I was fighting a lot in China. I fought over 20 times in 1 year. So this is easy work for me. And after this fight, I think Robert says he wants to go in August. So that'll be my longest layoff in a long time. So yeah, my body's feeling ready, mind's feeling ready, and I just want to get this whole week in the media shit done, weigh in, and have some fun.
Last time I spoke to you, you said no interim belt. I'm not down with the interim title. You are fighting for an interim title. What happened?
Eh, plans change. You gotta move and adjust. Adapt and overcome. So I just that was me trying to campaign that Robert. Because look, in the last 3 years, how many times he fought? 3 times, 2 times. In the last year, I fought more times. And yeah, I just feel that's don't worry about that. That's gone now. Like I'm fine for the interim title now. And the way I look at it with the new belt system, I get to have two belts.
Okay. Did they have to convince you, or you kind of just figured it out on your own?
Mm, don't really a little bit. Things happen behind the scenes. Yeah, a little negotiations and whatnot. But yeah, we got what we wanted, and I'm getting the belt in my next fight.
They greased those palms? GDP, you got that
Yeah.
paper? Is that what happened?
It's not just about paper. Not everything is about money, even though I like the money. But yeah, we the perks are nice. Let's put it that way.
Oh, okay. First class from New Zealand.
A lot of things that
Okay.
included, but also other things as
Well,
well.
it's
Got
well
some teammates
deserved.
coming over to help me out. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. So all right. So you have this fight, and it's against Kelvin. It's for the interim title. But you just mentioned Robert, so I have to ask you about him. When he was on the show last, he came on the show after recovering from the surgery. Finally, for the first time, I felt like Robert was throwing a little shade your way. He said he wasn't all that impressed with what you did against Anderson, and that you haven't fought. And then we had Jacare come on. He's like, "Who's this guy, Adesanya?" It's like the haters just continue to congregate around you. But I feel like you strike me as the kind of guy who enjoys that. Like, you don't want to really be loved by your peers in your weight class. Am I wrong?
I don't really care. I've been in the sauna with Jacare. He had nothing but nice things to say to my face. I've seen Robert around, don't say anything to my face. He shakes my hand and then keeps it moving. So when they get all Twitter fingers, it doesn't really mean shit to me. It's like, well, you could have said that to me when I was in your face.
Hmm.
I mean, but that's their own opinion. And at the end of the day, everyone has an opinion, like assholes.
Right. So you feel like what they say to you in person or how they act to you in person is more indicative of how they really are, and when they say that other stuff behind your back or not when you're there, that's just puffing your chest
I
out
have no
stuff.
problem saying something. Exactly. I have no problem saying anything like I learned something from my trainer Eugene a long time ago. Like you have to be a man of your word when you talk. And if I wouldn't say something, even in my personal life, if I'm bitching about someone within the next 3 days or a week, I'll make sure I say it to them the way I feel. So I don't like to talk about someone behind the keyboard or when they're not there to defend themselves or bring back a counter argument or whatever. So anything you can say, they can say to my face next time they see me.
I heard that if you win, the plan is to have you fight Robert late July, early August in Australia. Have you heard the same?
I've been through the grapevine, the streets are talking. So yeah, I heard things.
How big of a deal would that be, do you think? Like, what kind of stadium are we talking about? Are we talking about Etihad?
I think they're looking at Sydney or Brisbane. I'm talking 80,000 seater,
Whoa.
something crazy. Yeah, it probably could be the biggest sporting event in Australasian history. But all that gets scrapped if I don't get past this weekend. That's why I'm 100% focused on this weekend.
Do you find yourself sometimes dreaming about that moment because it would be so big, but then having to remind yourself that you have a big, task on your hand this weekend in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's a balance. Normally during fight week, I don't really ponder those ideas because I'm in fight week. But before fight week, I mean, I peek, I look, and I plot past that as well. So I know I see. This is chess, not checkers. I'm moves ahead. Era. I've picked all my fights in the UFC, every single one of them, without them even realizing. Every single one of them I've picked, and I mean I'm steps ahead. So whenever I'm looking at these guys and the way the board looks, I feel like I'm sitting pretty.
Would you agree that Kelvin Gastelum is the toughest MMA fighter you've ever faced?
No,
Who is?
um, the toughest MMA fighter I've ever faced. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but it was a Russian guy, and this was in China. Just because in the first round I battered him, and I had his back, and in hindsight I should have choked him out. I just beat him for like 2 minutes from the back till like his. I felt bad maybe like a month after because I realized, man, I could have choked him out. Kind of just popped in my head. And the second round, I just TKO'd him when they threw in the towel because he was really tough. Um, Calvin's tough as well. Everyone says he's got a granite chin and this and that, rah. But the problem is he hits his guys. That's it. He hits them. A lot of his guys don't have any footwork. They just stand there and get hit, and his body gets a reaction. He gets feedback from his fist when they land. For me, I've done this to many guys where they swing and hit fresh air, then they get discouraged, they get gassed. And I'm not one of those guys like a heavyweight who just stand there. I actually have footwork. I mean, some of these guys might not have heard of it, but footwork is what helps you. And a lot of things with combat sports, especially with striking and your defense. So, yeah, I mean, I would say we'll find out if he's the toughest guy. He can take this ass whooping, but I don't think so.
Was it Murad Kuramagomedov?
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
I fought a couple. Yeah,
I
in 1 year
remembered that
outfield
one
after.
against Murad back in China.
Yeah, been watching.
I'm watching. I like that stare down that you guys had for several reasons. First of all, it really highlighted the height differential between the two of you.
Yeah.
Do you like that? Do you like having that kind of difference? Do you feel like this really plays to your advantage?
I like having the height difference. Yes, I do because I get to play a little bit more with certain things. But yeah, it's not always an advantage if you can't use it. Because I fought guys who were as tall as me and a little bit taller, and I've whooped their ass because I know how to use my height disadvantage on them as well. So yeah, if he knows how to use it, great. But I have been using this for a long time, and same thing, different night.
I also love the shorts. I must say, I love that you were rocking the shorts up there. It was a
Oh
little bit
yeah,
business on top, casual on the bottom. It looked like you were just going out,
yeah.
the Las Vegas Strip, just to chill.
I literally came there for like not even long, but one day. Then I went to Atlanta the next day. I think I did LA a day, Vegas a day, Ohio for a night. and Atlanta for a night, and then back to New Zealand. So that was a quick tour all around America.
Was that your first time in Atlanta?
Yeah, that was my first time.
What did you think? Did you feel the love? Did the people know? Were they excited about the UFC coming and you coming?
Bits and pieces. Yeah, I was feeling the love, but not like crazy. I think this time, because it's fight week, I'll be feeling it a lot more eyes on me, I guess. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I know it's part of the gig, but I just want to get through this week,
Sure.
reach through it,
Yeah.
get to the weigh-ins, and then get to the fight, and then good night.
If all goes well on Saturday, as you probably expect it to, you get that belt. Will you feel like a UFC champion? Like in the past, I've seen some fighters win the interim belt and like essentially give it back and say this isn't the real belt. How will you view that title?
I've been the champion since I got here. I said that since day one, and a lot of people didn't believe me. So that wasn't my business. I believe me, and I just have to prove me right. So yeah, I've always felt like the champion, interim or not.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you'll feel like more of a champion than Robert is at this point. You probably think that they should have stripped him by now, and this should have just been an official title fight.
Dude, the guy fought twice, in 3 years. Imagine me as champion in 3 years, what I could do. My
Right.
first year, look what I did in the UFC. Imagine me in 3 years, what I could do. And I actually work. I actually show up to work. And I actually, even though I don't like it all the time, I actually get all the media shit done. I actually, I actually perform. So yeah, he can fight. No, I'm just here to, I'm not here to talk. I'm here to fight. Yeah, fuck out of here. It's like this is part of the game. This is how you become, you know, immortal in this game. So yeah, I'm doing my part, and that's all I care about. He can stay over there and do that part.
Are you turning us on us media people, Israel? Are you getting tired of us?
Oh, never.
I've seen this
Come
story
on,
play
man.
out before. I've seen it. Young, fresh face, loves it, eats it all up, and then slowly but surely the belts come, and it's like, yeah, change my number. Who's this again? Nah, I don't have time for this. Pay me.
It's
I've
never
seen it
about,
all.
it's never about, it's never about the belt. See, thing is, it's experience, learning the game. So when I came in here, like any other gig, you come in bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, and over time I realized, oh, a lot of these people don't care about me. Then I have to kind of like be selective with who I want to give my energy to, because there's already like a few people I've blacklisted that I don't talk to anymore. They still try and hit up my manager. I'm just like, not him or not her. Cause yeah, but don't worry, you're in my good books. I
Okay.
appreciate you because you look time. You got time for me and I got time for you, and we have a good working relationship. So whether if look, this is business at the end of the day. This is business. So I can do my part if you guys can do yours, and I'm happy to play my part because I know it's part of the game, and this is what makes you into a international superstar. This is what brings us millions in. So I'm working and I'm enjoying it. You know, just sometimes, yeah, some people kind of just rub me the wrong way.
I feel
That's
you.
all.
I feel you. Well, I know you have a flight to catch now, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for doing this, Izzy, especially in the midst of all this craziness with the travel. Safe travels to Atlanta, and I hope to see you there. Best of luck this week and on Saturday night.
Thank you, sir, and I'll probably see you in Atlanta.
Yes, I look forward to it. There he is, the Last Stylebender. He meets Kelvin Gastelum for the interim middleweight title this Saturday on pay-per-view.